you ever been stuck in Maya wasting hours fixing something that should take seconds? Like a walk cycle that refuses to move progressively the way it should? Watch this. Done. That's the difference between working like a beginner and working like a pro. And today, I'm going to show you 3 workflow killers and how to fix them instantly. You know, when I first came to North America, I thought my workflow was solid, that I had gained the crucial skills, and I would just need to demonstrate them. It wasn't so simple. I was spending days cleaning up things pros fixed in minutes. There are a few tools out there that help, Animbot, EB Labs, etc., but it's not about which one you use. It's about understanding how pros think about workflow and why these fixes matter. And if you want to go deeper, I'll link some resources below so you don't have to stumble through years of trial and error like I did. Workflow number 1. So this is the static walk cycle that we want to have move across the scene in 3D space. Typically, we have a master controller that enables us to place the character wherever we want, and we animate our static walk cycle in the controllers underneath it. I already created one keyframe on it on the first frame and on the last frame. I'm going to go to the last frame and just in this axis, we'll try to roughly create what would be the displacement in 3D space. Go to my graph editor, and that our translate Z curve is set to linear tangents so that our speed is constant. And I'm going to try to really make sure that there is no sliding. There we go. All right, so our character is moving in 3D space. The problem is that we are using the master controller. We're going to select the controllers that are responsible for moving the character underneath that master controller. In this case, it's the feet and the root because I'm using FK arms. If you're using IK arms, you might also want to grab those. Click my EB Labs World Space tool and press the To World Space button. What that does is creates a temporary controller to the controllers that I selected previously. So now if I grab my master controller, which would ordinarily place the entire character, it's not going to do anything. I'm going to delete the animation in it. Watch what's going to happen now. The character is still moving as if this was going on. This is because these controllers now have been overridden with the temporary master controllers in world space. We're almost there. All we need to do now is to select these controllers, and I'm going to now go and move to local space. As you can see, those temporary controllers disappeared, and now the actual character rig controllers have inherited that world space information. Watch what happens. My walk cycle is now moving progressively, but my master controller is stationary. This happens all the time. You've got a cycle, but in a shot, it needs to travel. Doing it manually takes forever. This fix makes your cycle usable in production in seconds. Cycles are just starting points. You need to get them into real shots fast. Now, I'm not in any way affiliated with EB Labs or sponsored by it. I'm just using it because it's a huge time saver when it comes to space switching and animation workflows. Workflow number 2. Props are when even experienced animators get tangled. Do you constrain the hand to the prop to the hand? What about switching mid-shot? You can see in this example several constraints for the prop switching in the hands. First, motion pivoting from the ground. Then this hand picks it up. He switches hands and he lifts up the prop. What I did in this scene was just animate the character and roughly place the sword where it needs to be with virtually no constraints. And as you can see, there is a lot of sliding. The tip of the sword is penetrating the ground. There is a slight sliding in here with the end of the sword. And obviously there is a bit of penetrations, and the hand's not really working with the sword on the later part of the shot either. The way to work with this quickly is not to really use constraints at all, but rather use EB Labs tools and interchange what's driving and what's the driven as we go along. First, we're going to create a locator, make it a little bigger. I'm going to snap it to this tip of the sword and make sure we are roughly eyeballing it where it needs to be. All right. Next, I will select the locator, select the sword, and go to my EV Labs World Space tool and hit 2 parent space. My locator is now going to follow the tip of the sword, and next going to create a key. You can see the pivoting action stops at around frame 1014. So I'm going to key my temporary controller here, and I'm going to go back to local space. Now my locator is rotating, but you can see the rotation is a lot cleaner than the sword. Now I will make the sword follow the locator. Gonna select the sword and the locator, go to parent space, and as you can see, it's now pivoting very nicely. If I needed to adjust, I would just grab this because it's now pivoting from this point. You can see that. Now we have this. In order to preserve this motion, what I'm going to do now is take a few keys on the temporary controller of the sword. And now I'm going to go back to local space. And as you can see, I now have a sword that's perfectly pivoting on the ground. Next comes this hand grabbing the sword part. What I'm going to do is actually have the hand follow the sword. So starting on this frame from 1014, I'm going to select the hand, select the sword, go to parent, and now it's what's driving the hand. As you can see, it's now following sword perfectly. See that? If I needed to adjust, I could always select the temporary controller that was created by EB Labs and reposition or re-rotate. See that? And now I'm going to also create a few keys on this controller so that we're sort of like baking. Obviously you can use the baking tools, but since it's so few keys, I'm not even going to take the trouble to do that. And now I'm going to, with this controller selected, click local space. There we go. So now from the beginning all the way here, we have something decent. As you can see, I'm interchanging between what I need as I go along, constraint-wise, that is. The trick is that you can interchange constraints depending on what the shot needs. Hand to prop, prop to hand, it stays organic and dynamic. No weird on and off keys, no broken motion. Props should feel natural, not like you hacked them together. If you thought this was powerful, wait till you see the next one. This is the kind of fix that saves a shot at the 11th hour when a director gives you last-minute notes. Let's say that you have a shot where your head animation and your facial animation have already been approved. And all of a sudden you realize that, oh my God, I'm polishing and this chest animation is all of a sudden like moving robotically to the right, and you need to fix the chest because it's really not working and you need to polish. You're concerned because the head and neck are directly underneath the chest in the hierarchy, and you fear that you might screw up the animation that's already been approved. No, with EB Labs, what you can do is you can grab your head with the animation that you want to preserve and you world space it. And now whatever you do with your chest is going to not affect the head animation that you had. See that? I can do whatever I want, but my chest is going to be stuck where it is. See that? So in practical terms, I can now go to my F editor. There is a little bit of horizontal motion that I'm not really a big fan of in this direction. I can now just go to my curve, I can adjust, and you can see that my head is completely locked. See that? And now after I finish this, you can see the head animation is still preserved. And now all I need to do is clean this up. I'll just grab the temporary controller from the EV Labs world space and go back to local space. Calculates, and here we go. Our head animation was preserved while we were fixing something that was in the hierarchy above it with 2 clicks. This is magic for polish. It saved me so many times. You can isolate the chest part, fix the motion, and the head, which is already approved, stays untouched. It's like undoing a mistake without redoing the whole shot. Pros save hours in polish because they don't rebuild. They isolate, they fix, and they move on. Notice the pattern here. It's really not about the plugin, it's about workflow clarity. Whether it's Animbot, EB Labs, or something else, the mindset is the same. Solve problems instantly so we can focus on what actually matters: acting, storytelling, and appeal. EB Labs gives you the ability to make these lightning-fast fixes, but tools alone won't make your shots stand out. That's why I built Pro Shot Builder and Shot Fix add-on. They give you the framework to have this same kind of clarity across your entire animation workflow. And in case you want direct feedback on your shot and stop feeling stuck or guessing what to fix next, I've opened a few slots to help you level up and move closer to the industry. Check out the links in the description below.